Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News, September 2nd, 2021. Well folks, the remnants of this Hurricane Ida that devastated Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and many other states heading north has just erupted in New York City, and New Jersey. We are going to be taking a look at some of the videos on Twitter, and what you're looking at right here is the New York subway. I'm going to go ahead and pan down through some of these videos coming in from New York City and Manhattan, Queens, also New Jersey. There was a very, very large tornado that was videotaped right on the New Jersey Turnpike. And, as I've mentioned before, I think it was 2 weeks ago in my last video, I mentioned the months of September, October, and November were going to be very critical times as far as storm systems, heavy rainfall. It's just not going to get any better, folks. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit and call it candy. It's just not going to get any better. So as you can see in this video, New York subway systems are shut down and just absolutely devastating. You can see the water plummeting up way back here. And so far as of 3 a.m. this morning, there's been one confirmed death, and it was an elderly gentleman who was swept away by some rising waters in New York City. So we're going to go ahead and keep on panning down. I mean, look at that rush of water. That's insane. I'm going to go ahead and open this screen a little bit more. As you can see, this is Brooklyn, and once again, the remnants of Tropical Storm Ida. Just devastating, folks. I spoke with a friend of mine who lives right across from the city of Philadelphia, right over the border in New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And she said that they got a lot of rain, but not as much as they did just a few miles north of where she's located. And that was the actual difference in getting, catastrophic flooding rain. Now, here where I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we saw very, very heavy downpours in the middle of the night yesterday, and then the heavy downpours kind of tapered off to this just continual rain. And it did not stop until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. A lot of our rivers, we have three main rivers here in the Pittsburgh area, the Monongahela and the Allegheny rivers meet in downtown Pittsburgh to form the Ohio River. The Ohio River then flows over to the Mississippi. So all of the floodgates are open in the locks and dams, but they are regulating it so they do not flood all of the communities downriver. The Monongahela River flows north. The mountains are south of us. All of that rain that is down in the mountains will then flow into all of the tributaries and then into these other rivers, and they will make their way all the way down to the city of Pittsburgh at that confluence of the two rivers. They call it the Point. So I'll be checking that out here shortly, but this situation in New York is just catastrophic. And New York City, Manhattan, it's not very far above sea level. And I've mentioned this many, many times before, that New York City, and Manhattan, they are ticking time bombs for catastrophic flooding. especially in the subway systems. A lot of the electrical systems in the subways are old. They will short out immediately. You could easily strand tens of thousands of people instantly. And, well, you know, like they say, pictures are worth 1,000 words, and you're seeing video. So look at this guy. I saw this video earlier. You know, I guess this is one way to relax and just take it in. Find yourself an alleyway in between your apartment buildings. Grab your bong, it looks like I think this guy's smoking. And grab yourself a raft and a drink and just deal with it. That's what this guy's doing. Typical New Yorker. Gotta love him. Here are some photographs right here. You can see a massive surge of water. My God, I believe, where is this? I mean, it's in, oh, okay, this is in the New York City subway. Wow. That looks like whitewater rafting. Let's take a good look at that. Holy hell. Yeah. Not looking too good. I guess that is a stairwell. These are people literally right there on the train. Holy hell. One more photograph here. I guess this is taken from an apartment building. Literally lakes forming in New York. This will give you a good perspective of how high the water is. When the water levels are just about at the window level of a car parked on the street, well, that will give you a good indication of how high the water is. So by looking at this, well, you could easily say the water would be pretty close to waist high, you know, depending on how tall you are. So you're looking at probably about a good, 24 to 30 inches of rain, maybe a little higher, maybe 36 inches of water. And I did listen to one report from one of the city workers, and he was saying that a lot of the drain systems evidently were not maintained or cleaned out, and that could be some of the problems that will occur when all of this water has to drain, because there will be not anywhere for this water to go. So it may take 12 to 24 hours before this water goes down. The rain system is going to be passing by. This is a devastating photograph right here. It says right up here, flooding in New York and tornadoes in New Jersey might be a subtle reminder that we have a gigantic crisis to address that somehow manages to stay hidden behind political distractions and personal denials. Yeah, I agree. And, if you're out and about and you live in this area of New York and New Jersey, you better be very, very careful. This is just devastating. This is obviously someone's apartment. Oh, that was someone's bedroom, full of water. Devastating. There's a picture of a massive lightning bolt. And, wow. It says, breaking news, flooding has all but shut down New York's subway. New Jersey's rail service is mostly suspended, and flights are halted at Newark Airport. Wow, this is somebody driving a bus, a metro bus. And the bus is flooded, as you can see. Now, these two young ladies are literally standing on the seats inside of the bus. Here is the National Weather Service. And this is out of New York. Let's take a look at the flash flood. This encapsulates Atlantic Beach, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, New Rochelle, and Yonkers. Wow. Okay, this whole entire area. And I've been to Brooklyn before. I've been to Queens. This is a I've been up to White Plains. This is a very large metropolitan and residential area. So these folks they're not going to be in good shape. Again, more water flowing down into the subway systems. I mean, that is a lot of water, folks. That's nothing to mess with. Okay, here we have some type of what looks like a Heineken beer stand. Gone. Bye-bye. That's gone. Queens, New York, flooded with over 1 to 2 feet of rain. Wow, the sun's going to be coming up in a few hours, and I'm sure that we're going to get a lot more video footage of what is occurring in New York City. This photograph, or excuse me, this video clip here of this is the 28th Street station in the subway. That is just absolutely insane. I mean, that looks like something that you would see whitewater rafting, up in the mountains or something. Look at the amount of that water. Absolutely incredible. Apparently this is a guy, it looks like a big pickup truck. He's making his way pretty slow. And there'll probably be tens of thousands of vehicles that will be stranded on all of these city streets throughout New York and New Jersey that will be so heavily water damaged that they will not be able to run. So you're looking at a mass nightmare for tow truck drivers, because all of these vehicles are eventually going to have to be moved from the city streets, repaired, junked, or whatever they're going to do with them. But there'll be tens of thousands of cars and trucks that will be inoperable. Here's a little bit of a long distance shot. This is serious flooding now in the subway stations in Midtown Manhattan. Wow. I guess this guy's smart enough that he videotaped this from about a good 50 feet away. Yeah, another shot of the subway system. I do believe that is the same area that we were just looking at in the previous video. These people are kind of brave. You definitely take the chance of electrocution. These subways, they run off of electricity. The one city worker that was being interviewed on the news did mention that people should be very careful. Oh my God, that was a train. Look at here, this guy's carrying his son up on his shoulder. He's in ankle-high water. They're trying to get to their car. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I guess when the sun comes up this morning, you're probably going to see a lot of vehicles that are stranded in the middle of the road. Once again, those vehicles will be inoperable. They will have to bring tow trucks in to tow those vehicles away, and there'll probably be thousands of them through the entire metropolitan area and over in Jersey. So this is going to be one hell of a nightmare for the folks in New York and New Jersey. And this right here, I do believe, let's see here, it says a flash flood emergency, the most extreme flood warning, has been issued for over 10 million people in the New York City and Newark metro areas, as insane 3 inches plus per hour rates of rain pummel the area. Life-threatening flooding is ongoing. Holy hell. You know, I thought we got it bad here in the Pittsburgh area when that rain came down. But, well, there's our man in the raft again. But one of the strongest parts of the rain that came through the Pittsburgh area, there was a very, very large cell that had about 5 inches per hour of rain in it. And it just went a little south of where I live and the Pittsburgh area. Even though we did get about 2 inches of rain, I'd say it was about 2 inches per hour, it moved pretty quick, which was a good thing. And then we had that light rain, that light steady rain, till about 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, if we would have had this type of catastrophic rain with that 5 inches per hour, we would have been in the same situation that they are here in New York City. This guy says here, family, please stay off the streets of New Jersey and New York City. Serious flooding taking place. Yeah, folks, this is catastrophic. This is something that I've never seen before in my lifetime. I don't know about any of you, but this almost reminds me of what the hell was the name of that one movie, The Day After Tomorrow? Or that wasn't The Day After Tomorrow. Oh God, what was the name of that one movie where at the end of the movie the daughter and her father stood on a beach and they watched a 300-foot tidal wave come in and just take them out because there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And I guess they wanted to face it dead on. Here's another post. Life-threatening flash flooding is taking place in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York City. With many counties under flash flood emergencies, the remnants of former Hurricane Ida have dumped 6 to 10 inches of rain across the widespread area. I forgot about Philadelphia, our sister city across the state, and they were right in the midst of it also. Let's take a look at something here real quick, folks. Let's just go ahead and bring up windy.com, and I don't know if we could go back. Well, the storm is off. Okay, it is right here. So this is what we're looking at right here. And remember what I said about the large cell? That would be this area right here. And you're looking at 2.4 inches of rain, and that would fall within a 3-hour period within this white zone right here. This area here, this white zone, this was about half the size as it came upward through the city of Pittsburgh right here. So this area, this big white area, it stayed below us. I'm going to have to check on areas like in Morgantown, West Virginia, because they are susceptible to flooding during large storm systems like this. But like I said, it did come in and move upward kind of fast. It wasn't kind of slow moving, which would have been more catastrophic. We were the Pittsburgh area, and where I live, we were in like this pink area here, and which was not too bad. Now, our rate of rain per 3 hours was a little bit larger than that. And as you can see, it goes down. So let's just see. We're going to go ahead and move this. But here's this area right here in New York. So we can't go back. Oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, we can't go back in time on this. That's a shame. So that takes us from Thursday the 2nd today, about 12 a.m. And it's about almost 3 a.m. right now, so you can see this is moving off, but the flooding is pretty bad. Let's check out rain accumulation. And this is over the next 24 hours, the next 3 days. So this area here, 5 plus 1 inches of rain. Two inches. Okay, that's not changing very much. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't go back in time on this weather map. We could take a look at the GO 16 and take a look at this on the actual radar and see what we can actually see here. So it's going to go ahead and load. And you know what I could do? I could try to bring this back. And let's see if we could see this roll through. We'll let this load. And what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and slow this down a good bit. So this will give you a good idea of what actually came through. I do believe we could see my area here in the corner of the state. Well, not really. So here's New Jersey, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and then, you know, it's like Murphy's Law, man. New York City, Manhattan, Long Island, just literally right dead center where the heaviest downpours, the most saturated areas of that storm system were located. And where did it move over? Some of the most heavily populated areas on the east coast of the United States. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so if you pan out, you can see. And I think, let's see here. I guess next in line is going to be Boston. Wow. I guess, let's see, probably within the next several hours, we may be getting video and reports in about what is occurring in Massachusetts. And, oh my. Yeah, folks, you know, these storms are, they're getting stronger. They're getting larger, more powerful. I was watching some reports coming out of Louisiana and Mississippi yesterday that were just absolutely heartbreaking. And I was going to do a video on it, but I don't know. You know, I just felt that, you know, the news coverage was good enough. It was just hard to watch. You know, so many families devastated, nowhere to go, no electricity, you know, no running water, nowhere to go to the bathroom, your homes destroyed, your businesses destroyed, everything gone, you know, just total devastation. And we are only in the beginning of September. So we have all of September and all of October before hurricane season ends in November. However, you know, the way I see it and from what I see, we may not be out of the woods in November. And as we turn out of the fall equinox, there's a heavy possibility that we may see some really, really catastrophic weather formations when you have the warm air moving upward and then this cooler air coming down from Canada with the jet stream, and they're going to collide. I mean, you could see it forming right here. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. And you see how these storms explode. You could watch the formation of it right here. Right there. So there comes the heavy possibilities of very powerful tornadoes, heavy downpours of rain, flash flooding, and so on and so forth. And if you look out here, coming off the coast of Africa, well, we already have a formation that looks pretty tight. It's already starting to form. You could see a lot of the wind shear right here along the edges. But when you look at the areas that are black, I mean, that is just on a scale of 1 to 10 with intensity. Okay, that's probably going to be like a 10, 11, 12. So we can see this forming. And then here comes another one right off of the coast of Africa. Typically, that is the area where these tropical storms and hurricanes start to form. I mean, this one here is already showing some rotation. So if we get and that is actually, that is actually in the prime area where you see the hurricanes. If you follow, I think I have a drawing tool on this. Where the hell is it? Usually when these storms come off of this area right here, I mean, this is normally the storm track that they start on. Once they get here, they could either move into Florida, they could move up the coast here, 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 and then they usually pan out and move outward. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this depression and see how that forms. But I think we're definitely going to be in for some very, very severe weather over the course of the next 60 days. No doubt about it. But folks, I'm going to end this video here. Keep these folks in New York. Keep these people in your prayers. And as you can see, they are absolutely devastated. And in a couple of hours, when the sun comes up, we'll definitely get some more video on what has actually occurred, the damage, and I'm going to see if I could get some information on the northern track of this storm going up into Massachusetts and the states right below, because it looks like they may be in the same situation that New York City's under. Okay, folks? So as far as Planet X information goes, about a week ago, well, a little more over a week ago, about 10 days ago, there was a problem with the server that I link into where I'm able to upload the coronagraph data. Something occurred, and that server was down, and it was down for several days. I have all of the data from the coronagraphs in my computer ready to go. I did upload some about 6 hours ago because I did notice something on one of the coronagraphs on the SEEDS website, and I uploaded it, and definitely looks like there's something there. So let's see what this renders. It may take a few more hours. When it comes out, you guys will be the first to know. One more thing. Everybody that helped out with the donations and contributions for Dr. Albers, I really, really appreciate that. That was absolutely fantastic. Touched my heart and also touched her heart. She was able to go to the doctors. Things are progressing in a very, very positive way, and she'll be going back next week, and I'll keep all of you up to date. In the meantime, stay tuned to Planet X News. Thank you for watching, and be safe out there, folks.